Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise today in support of my amendment, which prohibits federal funds in this bill from being used to purchase, install, operate, or maintain automated license plate readers. Automated license plate readers, and in particular the dominant vendor, Flock Safety, have quietly become one of the most sweeping surveillance systems in American history. Flock Safety now contracts with more than 5,000 law enforcement agencies and operates over 80,000 AI-powered cameras across 49 states. These cameras photograph every vehicle that passes, not vehicles belonging to suspects, not vehicles flagged by a warrant, but every vehicle. All data collected, including license plate data, vehicle descriptions, location, and time, are stored in a centralized, searchable national database accessible to law enforcement and others on demand without court approval. Let's be clear about what this is: mass government surveillance. The government is building a record of where every American drives every day without suspicion, without a warrant, and without their knowledge or consent. In fact, there's clear evidence that this technology is ripe for abuse. Last year, a police chief in my very own district, in fact, not just my district, but my very own county, was arrested on charges that he was using the city's automated license plate recognition cameras to stalk and harass multiple people, including a former romantic partner. And this isn't an isolated case either. The Institute for Justice found more than a dozen cases across the country of government employees using this mass surveillance technology for personal gain. We know this trade-off pretty well. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we were told again and again that temporary restrictions on our liberty, shutdowns, mandatory masking, and vaccine mandates were necessary for public safety. Many of us pushed back because we knew that once government acquires these tools, it doesn't give them up easily. The surveillance cameras we're discussing today follow the same logic: justified in the name of safety, normalized through routine use, and then expanded far beyond any original mandate. We were right to be skeptical then. We should be equally skeptical now. I want to be clear. No one in this committee is opposed to public safety. No one. We all want criminals caught, communities protected, and law enforcement given the tools that they need. But there is a meaningful line between targeted investigative tools and blanket surveillance of an entire population. Automated license plate readers, as currently deployed, have crossed that line. At least 53 cities across 20 states have already terminated or rejected Flock camera usage, many citing privacy concerns and their lack of meaningful control over the system. And that's an important part: meaningful control over the system. Congress should follow their lead. This amendment is simple. It says not one federal dollar in this bill shall go toward building or maintaining the surveillance architecture. It does not defund the police. It does not prevent the states and localities from making their own choices with their own funds and doing it with their own money. It simply says that federal taxpayer dollars in this bill should not be compelled to finance a system that photographs, tracks, and monitors in a database Americans' every vehicle movement. Now, I have some articles here. Police have reportedly used license plate readers to stalk romantic interests at least 18 times in recent years. How police cameras are open to officer abuse. And this is from 2026. Both articles are. Suburban Atlanta chief, actually it's the Brazelton chief in my district, arrested for using license plate readers to stalk and harass. As a matter of fact, it's not that the abuse is going down. The abuse is actually going up. In 2025, the abuse was twice as much as 2024, and in 2026, it's more than 2025. So this abuse is increasing, and as a result, I urge my colleagues to support this amendment, and I yield back.